Now let's take a look at the top menu bar. We've already talked about adding pages. Over here on the left hand side we can quickly and easily add a chapter, a section, or a page to a section that's in a chapter just by clicking on the addition button up here. The view is a way that I can add some different views to my menu bar. I can choose to look at my book pane as an outline, or I can choose to look at it as a thumbnails. I can also show my glossary toolbar, which will come in real handy when we start adding glossary terms to our book. So I'm going to keep that on. The style drawer is a drawer that I can quickly and easily change the fonts of my text in my book. I'm going to keep that off right now. I can choose to show my layouts, hide my format bar. However, I want to keep that displayed. I can show rulers, which helps me place things on my pages, show the layout boundaries, and I can choose to show invisibles as well. So let's just take a look at a page here. Here's I'm showing my layout boundaries. You can see the boxes around each one of these fields. If I turn that off, you'll see that those disappear. So I'm going to keep my glossary bar on, and I'm going to keep my formatting bar on. The orientation just allows me to change between the portrait and the landscape. Remember, I set this up as a as a landscape with portrait. So if I choose to go to portrait, you'll see how that kind of changes my book pane bar automatically. So if I go into my chapter 2, I can't scroll up or down or left or right to get to the next page. I have to click on it to select it. You'll also see that this really kind of centers the text and shoves all of the images and the other elements over to the left margin. That really helps the reader to focus on the text. Editing in this can be a little bit tricky, but you can do it. So I'm going to choose to actually keep it in landscape, and I'm going to show you how to lock it into landscape if that's what you prefer. We can quickly and easily add text boxes or images, shapes. We can add tables, and this is going to automatically bring up my inspector, which we'll get to in a minute. I can also add different types of charts, and finally widgets. There are 9 different widgets to choose from, and we're going to spend some time going over how to insert these and what their functionality is a little bit later on. When I feel like I want to preview either a particular section or an entire book of what I've created in iBooks, I can simply plug in my iPad into my MacBook with my USB charging device, open up iBooks, and click on Preview. This will automatically populate it onto my iBook shelf, and I'll be able to look at it on my iPad. If I wanted to publish into the iBook store, I would select the Publish button. And finally, the inspector, the media, colors, and fonts. Media, colors, and fonts are things that we can do through some other features or other functions in iBooks Author. I can simply drag any kind of media files or widget files onto my document and drop it in there. Colors I can change also on my format bar down here. Same thing with my fonts. However, the inspector is another toolbar in and of itself, and we're going to spend some time going over the different functionalities of the inspector as they pertain to the document, the text, the images that we put in there, and the widgets, and also bookmarking and hyperlinking.